Okay, I have a review today for Dante's Inferno for the Xbox 360. This game I know has gotten pretty beaten up by the critics because of it. They say, it's a complete ripoff of God of War. My response is two things, okay? Number one, I've never played God of War. My PlayStation 2 broke long before that game came out. And number two, isn't God of War kind of just a ripoff of Devil May Cry? So who cares? But with that being said, I love this game. I was completely surprised. I thought it was going to be mediocre, and I think it's awesome. It is awesome. It's the best action game of its type, I think, since Ninja Gaiden 2. I just had such a good time playing this game. I just loved it. I can't stress that enough. Every I thought that maybe only being able to use two weapons throughout the entire game. Dante has a scythe and this cross for range attack. I thought that would be a problem, but it didn't. There's plenty of awesome combos you get, and you can unlock even more and more for each by upgrading your skills. And they're both just awesome to use. And what's great about it is that unlike so many games where the ranged weapon is just a piece of garbage, depending on how you level yourself up, whether you're the holy side, you'll get your cross damage will do more. If you're the unholy, your scythe damage will do more. And you can technically get it where your cross could be the most powerful weapon in the game. And I like that balance. I like that you could technically, if you like ranged combat, you could go through the whole game as ranged combat. I thought, but regardless of which, I thought the combat was completely satisfying. It's bloody, it's mature, it's just a blast to play. I just never got tired of fighting enemies, and some of the bosses in this game are just incredible. I especially love the Judge of the Damned and the fight against Cerberus and Gluttony. There's just some amazing moments in this game where you're just going to say, holy crap, that was awesome. Like, just epic moments that you're not going to forget. It's about, some people are saying it's too short. I didn't really think so. Took me about 8 hours to play through on the normal setting, and there is going to be DLC released in April that's going to add an online two-player co-op horde mode, which really sounds awesome. I can't wait to see that DLC for this game. I think it's going to be great. But I didn't really feel that the length was a problem because this was the kind of game I was enjoying so much that before I was even halfway through, I couldn't wait to start again and just do it all again. And it's want to go through again even after that. I just can't wait to play it again, and it's pretty much all I've been playing since I got it. It's not perfect. There are a few problems with it. You might have heard people say that in the later levels, you don't have the epic sort of scale that you did in the first. That's true in a sense, but to be honest, it's like I said, the combat still stays, really good, and that's what carries the game through. The main thing that got on my nerves is there's most all the puzzles in the game, or at least most of them, rely on jumping, and if you miss a jump, you just instantly die. It's just game over. Forget it. And the game's very generous in its checkpoints. It's not like you have to do a lot of backtracking, but that it's just a little obnoxious. I mean, just instant pitfall deaths. I mean, that just got a little annoying. The only other complaint I had is there was one boss fight where the ring you're fighting on continually gets smaller and smaller, and blocking attacks knocks you back a lot. And when you were fighting this guy, it's like I can't tell you how many times I had to redo the boss fight because the ring would shorten and I'd be blocking and he'd hit me with something and it would just slap me back even if I was blocking, or if you get hit it slaps you back and I just fell into this like oil and just immediately died. And that got pretty annoying. That was just seemed like a sort of cheap way of making the boss harder than he should have been. But other than that, though, I didn't really have many complaints with this game. It looks great. The sound, I have to go back. The sound is incredible in this game. Just the whole atmosphere of hell is really convincing. I mean, if there is a hell, I've got to think this is a pretty accurate representation of it. It's really, really just amazing art style and just excellent sound, the voice acting, and just all the things you hear in the world are just sound wonderful. It's just an amazing sounding game. But so if you're like me and you've never played God of War, then you'll probably really enjoy Dante's Inferno if you like this kind of action game. Now, if you're a God of War fan, I don't know if you'll enjoy it. Like I said, I've never played God of War. If you have, you might think it's too similar to God of War. But like I said, I haven't played it, so that didn't bother me. I just had a blast with this game, and like I said, I just can't wait to play it again. I'm gonna give it a 9-0. It's like it's not as good as Mass Effect 2. I still think that's the best game I've played this year, but in terms of the most visceral enjoyment I've had from a game this year, Dante's Inferno is easily it. I think it's just an absolute riot. I mean, the whole game is, go to hell, and hey, I had a hell of a time playing this game. So, like I said, if you're up for a mature, really satisfying action game, you need to look no further.